What's up, guys? How are you guys doing? In this video we're gonna be doing more character, guys, and today we're gonna be talking about Emily. Okay, and Emily, you guys already know how strong this character is, right? In this game she's by far the best tank in the game. Okay, she's insane, absolutely amazing character, and yeah, everyone should have one Emily in their account. Okay, of course you could, kind of juggles between like High Day if you guys don't have Emily, or somebody like Hill Day, right? For a tank, but Emily is just built different, right? So yeah, we're gonna be talking about Emily. We're gonna be talking about her kit, her gears, and everything about her. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so Emily, let's start with her kit. Actually, I'll start with her resonance first. Okay, so her resonance 6 gives her a sense of insight, which increases her crit rate by a certain percentage, which is really good. And then it also provides her with extra HP as well, which is really good. And then she have her resonance 10 effect right here, where it gives her crit damage boost, right? So she have a crit rate and crit damage boost on her resonance, and then she also gonna get more 18% crit damage on her, on the passive right here, right? And she does like to crit because she actually does pretty nice damage as well. Right? Very, very strong character. She's a really good tank and also a really good, sub DPS character, right? If you guys gonna need someone like that, right? Emily, in my opinion, is by far she got the best design in the game. Okay, I freaking love her design, absolutely top tier design, right? And yeah, let's talk about her kit next. Okay, so her kit is very simple. Of course, she comes with a passive, right? So you don't need extra dupes to unlock her passive, but she does, of course, she also have, I'm saying, 4 dupes passive right here, which makes sense, right? So the first passive with at E0, I also have her E0, so let's talk about what E0 does, right? So grant Emily barrier for 1 turn at the start of the first battle, reduce the cooldown of turn down service, right? Turn down service is her ultimate right here, right? So reduce the cooldown of turn down service by 1 turn after being attacked. Reduce the cooldown of turn down service by an additional 1 turn. Then grant self 1 stack of chill. And so pretty much when the turn starts, she gives herself a barrier, right? And then she also gonna reduce the cooldown of her turn down service for 1 turn by 1 turn, right? And then when she get attacked, she also gonna be reducing her ultimate cooldown even more, right? Which is really, really good, right? Yeah, absolutely broken passive right here. Her ultimate does have pretty long cooldown. You know what I'm saying? It's if I'm not mistaken, I think without the level up, it's like what? Yeah, 8 turn ultimate, right? So yeah, that passive definitely needed some way to reduce the cooldown on this thing, right? But right with the skill upgrade, it's gonna go down to 7 turns, which is still pretty high. But with her passive, this should go down to 5 turns, right? Which is pretty good, right? And then grants up 1 stack of chill, which makes sense, right? With a 50% chance after being attacked by an attack that targets all, barrier is proportional to self max HP, right? So yeah, very good. She works off of being attacked as well, right? When she gets attacked, she also gonna give herself a chill stack, but it's a 50% chance that she's gonna get that. Okay, so yeah, very, very interesting. And then if you go all the way to max, she's gonna be increasing her max HP by 15, right? And then the 50% right here, right, goes up to 100%, right, which is really good, right? So yeah, her dupes are pretty nice, right? But yeah, very, very, very strong passive right here, right? And now let's look at her first skill, right? This first skill is absolutely broken, right? Swing a massive broom to attack the enemy, grants yourself 1 stack of chill. Damage is proportional to self max HP, right? Everything scales with her max HP, obviously. But when you soul burn this thing, temporarily deals 1 more toughness fixed damage on attack and grants self barrier for 1 turn after attacking. Barrier is proportional to self max HP, right? That is amazing. One of the best Nova Burst effects in the game, right? She's gonna be giving herself a barrier on a basic attack, right? When you Nova Bursted. And then she also gonna be doing 2 break bar damage, okay? Instead of 1 when you Nova Bursted. Very, very good Nova Burst right here, okay? And then if you look at her second skill, this is amazing skill right here. Emily, you ideally wanted to play her manually because of the skill, okay? The auto version of Emily is not that good because the auto when you are playing when you are playing her on auto, the AI actually just randomly put this shield on anyone, okay? But if you are playing her manually, you could actually target the specific character you guys want to put this buff on, okay? To protect them, right? Very, very good skill right here. So it will cleanse allies with the pride of a cleanup mate, right? Grant an ally attack up, right? Which is really good. That's a 30% attack up right here, right? And then barrier for 3 turns. This barrier is massive, by the way, because scale with her HP, and this thing does keep your main DPS alive for quite a long time. Okay, very very good skill right here, right? So you definitely want to put this on someone who's low HP or on your main DPS. Okay, so they could get the attack boost and also the barrier right here, so they don't take a lot of damage, right? That's why I say like using her manually is better than using her on auto. Okay, grant an ally attack up and a barrier for 3 turns, which the end is a 3-turn buff, guys. Okay, that's crazy, right? And then grant self 3 stack of shield, then grant self an extra turn as well. Barrier is proportional to self max HP, right? Very very strong right here. And then you have the Nova Burst, which restores 1 toughness to self after using a skill. Very good. And then we got her amazing ultimate right here. Attacks all enemies with the resolve of a veteran mercenary. Grant all allies defense up. That is crazy. For 2 turns, right? And grant self 1 stack of awakened memory and dispellable buff. Removes all stack of chill and reduce the cooldown of turn down service by 2 turns if chill is at max stack after attacking, right? That is amazing. So you ideally want to use this once you have like max stack, so you could actually reduce the cooldown of her ultimate even more. Okay, very good skill right here. And if you look at her awakened memory right here, it will deal 50% increase ultimate skill damage stack up to 3 times. That is amazing, right? At max stack, this will do 150% ultimate skill damage, right? Which is crazy, right? Very very strong ultimate right here. Yeah, this thing can hit really hard, you guys. Okay, and then you have her defense up, right? AoE defense up by 30%, which is really good. So yeah, just amazing kit in general, right? Her kit is freaking amazing, right? So now let's talk about what kind of gear you guys want to run on Emily. Okay, you ideally want to give her a full HP set, right? Because that 30% HP is massive. Yeah, she's definitely gonna be needing so much HP. So she could tank better, and she could also do a lot more damage, right? Based on her max HP, right? And then for the 2 set, this is the best 2 set for any tank or anyone that's skilled with HP, right? It will give you HP 10%, and it also gives you effect resistance 5%, right? And when it comes to substats on Emily, you ideally want to use you want to get HP status, right? HP defense, speed, and I'll say crit rate. Crit rate is very good, or effect resistance. Okay, this one's pretty good, right? It will give me, it's giving me HP, defense, speed, and crit rate, right? This is very good. So you want something like this on her gear, okay? Here you ideally want HP. I have a defense set one, but I definitely gonna change this. This is terrible, but you do want the substats are very good, right? Instead of this attack, you ideally want HP right here, right? And the speed is very good. You got crit rate and effect resistance, right? Since she can give herself a lot of crit damage, she doesn't need a lot of crit damage. She doesn't need crit damage as much, but crit rate is very good right here. And for the main stats, I would say on the necklace, speed is actually very good. So she could actually, apply her this skill right here, right? As quickly as possible, right? So if the more turns she gets, the more she is able to protect your main DPS or herself as well, right? So having a really high speed on her is actually very effective right here. Okay, so you ideally want a speed here, or if you guys don't want speed, I would say maybe crit rate, okay, to boost their damage. But if you guys just want her as a pure tank, then I'll say you give her like HP, right? That works as well, right? And then for the ring, you ideally want HP right here, or effect resistance if you guys if you guys are like worried about getting debuffed a lot of times. Effect resistance can be quite useful here, but I think HP is probably the best one for her. Of course, her boots and everything, they have a set amount of status, so that you don't need to change the main stats on these. But the substats, like I said, you ideally want HP percentage, speed, crit rate, and effect resistance, right? And most of these gears right here are substat, okay? So that way she is really effective right here. And the other gear you guys can run on Emily is actually a speed gear, okay? Speed gear is actually gonna be very nice on her as well. If you wanted to go really fast, okay? So speed gear can be very useful on her, but again, you're gonna need a lot of really good rolls on the sub status, so that way you can get the most status out of the speed set, right? Because when you switch to a four set speed set, you're actually going to be losing out on a 30% HP right here, okay? But I think the best one is probably the HP, the full HP set, and hopefully you are able to roll a bunch of speed on the substats right here. Okay, my Emily is very slow, right? She's only at 139 speed. Yeah, but you ideally want her to be around 150 or 160 speed, okay, to be very effective, okay. And then her HP should be pretty as high as possible, so that way everything scales better, right? You ideally, I'll say maybe in late game, you want at least, I'll say 70k, right? 70k HP and more, right? So that way she's a lot so much stronger, right? But yeah, Emily is amazing, amazing freaking character, and yeah, I'll be using her everywhere, right? She's amazing, and then team wise, of course, you guys can actually just use her with, what I'm saying, anyone in any character in the game. But I think for mono team, I think Emily is gonna be a lot more effective inside a mono team. Okay, the reason I say that is because of the chill stacks she gets, right, based on the mono team, right? So I think Claire is amazing with her, right? You want somebody that actually give her more chill stacks and stuff like that, right? So yeah, a mono team actually gonna be the most effective way to use her. But I think outside of mono team, she could be used with any damn character. Okay, she's just that amazing, right? She's very similar to like Ashra, where you can use her with anyone, and she is gonna perform, right? But yeah, that is it for Emily. Let me know how you guys are liking Emily, man. I mean everyone is using Emily everywhere, so I don't need to remind you guys how good she is, right? But yeah, that is it for the video, man. And yeah, thank you for watching, and of course don't forget to like and subscribe, and bye bye.